Welcome to Donald Trump's America, the sequel, where news of Trudeau's crisis made its way down to Mar-a-Lago, and Trump took new shots at both Trudeau and Freeland.
But today, in mere hours, they were expected to learn that it was much higher than that, threatening our social programs and our fiscal stability right in the middle of a potential trade war. The Prime Minister, with the help and instigation of carbon tax Carney, pushed Ms. Freeland to bring on massive, unsustainable, irresponsible spending increases that blew through her self-enclosed garden.
Thank you all for being here tonight. It's obviously been an eventful day. It's not been an easy day. But I wanted to come here tonight and speak with you, dedicated, devoted members of the Liberal Party, because you, not me or any other politician, are the beating heart of this movement.
It is not breaking news that the political landscape in Canada has been filled with tension. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has faced constant challenges within his government. Another significant source of conflict is centered around the Finance Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland. In a shocking turn of events, Chrystia Freeland, one of Canada's most prominent political figures, has stepped down as Finance Minister. This resignation did not only affect the political landscape, but also happened on the day she was set to deliver the highly anticipated fall economic statement.
Maintaining the 2023-24 deficit at or below $40.1 billion.
Freeland's departure sheds light on a deeper tension between her office and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Her public resignation letter highlights their disagreements over fiscal policies, spending priorities, and how best to prepare Canada for economic threats, including a potential tariff war with Donald Trump. This exit has left many wondering about the future direction of Trudeau's government and the Liberal Party's ability to maintain stability despite growing internal discord. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay informed about the latest political developments in Canada. It costs you nothing, but makes a big difference to us. Adding fuel to the fire were Freeland's strong objections to what she termed costly political gimmicks. This criticism was directed at measures like rebate checks and other short-term spending policies she argued undermining Canadians' trust in the government's ability to manage serious economic challenges. Ultimately, it was Prime Minister Trudeau's request for her to step down as Finance Minister that sealed her decision to resign entirely. Freeland made it clear that continuing in cabinet without the confidence of the Prime Minister was not an option she could accept. Her departure emphasizes the ideological disagreement that has been brewing within the government, a clash that now threatens its stability moving forward. Chrystia Freeland's resignation is not the first time Canada has witnessed a finance minister stepping down in the middle of political tension. A striking parallel can be drawn with Paul Martin's unexpected resignation during Jean Chrétien's tenure. Martin, like Freeland, was at odds with the Prime Minister over policy direction, creating ripples within the government and prompting discussions about leadership stability. Former Finance Minister John Manley, who succeeded Martin, offers a seasoned perspective on the current crisis. He acknowledges that tension between finance ministers and prime ministers is not uncommon, as the finance minister often acts as a counterbalance to spending ambitions. However, Manley emphasizes that Freeland's resignation, especially on the day of the fall economic statement, creates a uniquely peculiar moment for the Trudeau government. He described it as a crisis moment, highlighting how this event exposes deeper fractures within the Liberal Party. Historically, friction over fiscal priorities has strained relationships between finance ministers and prime ministers. Finance ministers are tasked with maintaining economic stability, often clashing with the political demands for increased spending or short-term populist measures. Freeland's departure underscores this recurring tension, but it also marks a significant escalation. Unlike past instances, where resignations were handled behind closed doors or amid less critical events, Freeland's public critique of Trudeau's policies magnifies the challenge. It raises questions about whether the government's direction is sustainable and whether this resignation could trigger broader instability within the cabinet or even lead to leadership challenges. Freeland's resignation is framed as a principled stand against what she viewed as unsustainable fiscal policies. She opposed measures like costly rebate checks and business tax incentives, arguing they could undermine Canada's ability to respond flexibly to future economic challenges. The core of the disagreement was about balancing short-term political gains with long-term fiscal stability, making Freeland's departure a symbolic rejection of what she saw as politically motivated, unsustainable spending. Chrystia Freeland's resignation has created immediate challenges for the Liberal government. As a high-profile cabinet member with significant international credibility, her departure weakens the government's standing both domestically and abroad. The timing of her resignation, in addition to the ongoing tensions with Prime Minister Trudeau, underscores the internal discord within the government, making it harder to project unity and stability. The broader political consequences are significant. Trudeau now faces increased scrutiny over his leadership, with critics pointing to his inability to maintain cohesion within his cabinet. The resignation has sparked speculation about other ministers potentially following suit, which could lead to further cabinet reshuffles. This potential instability poses a serious threat to the government's ability to advance its agenda effectively. Moreover, Freeland's exit adds to the growing list of high-profile departures from the Liberal government, diminishing the party's bench strength. With several senior ministers stepping down or leaving, there is concern about the party's ability to sustain its leadership and manage public confidence. In a broader sense, the situation also raises questions about whether the caucus might push for a leadership change, further complicating the Prime Minister's position in the face of mounting challenges. The fall economic statement was expected to introduce new spending measures, including business tax incentives, housing policies, and GST relief. These policies are critical as they aim to address current economic challenges, but their long-term impact on Canada's fiscal health is a point of contention. Critics, including economists from across the political spectrum, have raised concerns about the sustainability of such spending, particularly in light of the country's fiscal deficit. The introduction of rebate checks and GST holidays has also faced skepticism, with some arguing that these political gimmicks may provide temporary relief, but fail to address deeper structural issues within the economy. The broader economic considerations are also shaped by external factors, most notably the looming threat of trade conflicts, particularly tariff wars under former President Donald Trump. Freeland's resignation highlights the tension surrounding Canada's preparation for such geopolitical challenges, as she had emphasized the need for fiscal flexibility to weather potential tariff hikes. Her departure underscores the challenges the Trudeau government faces in balancing immediate fiscal demands with long-term economic resilience, especially in a global environment marked by uncertainties such as inflation, supply chain disruptions, and shifting international trade relations. Chrystia Freeland's resignation serves as a clear symptom of deeper ideological divides within the Liberal Party, particularly over fiscal policy. It not only exposes tensions between Freeland and Prime Minister Trudeau, but also signals a potential shift in how the government approaches economic governance. The Trudeau government now faces an urgent need to project stability and clarity moving forward, both within its ranks and in its policy direction, if it hopes to regain public trust and maintain effective governance. Even Trump reacted to Chrystia Freeland's resignation on Twitter. The great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns, or was fired, from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. Her behavior was totally toxic and not at all conducive to making deals which are good for the very unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. The resignation may have broader implications for Canadian politics. As the Liberal government contends with its internal crises, it faces pressure from opposition parties and the public to address its policy inconsistencies and leadership instability. With the future direction of Canada's economic policies in flux, the next steps could significantly reshape the country's political landscape, including potential changes in leadership and a rethinking of fiscal strategies for the years to come.